do something do something good, be nice to my family even though it's 6 in the morning, be nice to my dog even though he's jumping on me, that kind of thing. But there are other things you can do, including things like I keep $5 in my pocket and I give it to a homeless person if I walk by them. I let people go in front of me if I'm driving in a merge. I move a grocery cart that somebody so kindly left in back of someone's car. I pick up garbage when I walk my dog. I actually bring 2 bags. And I try to help people. If they have a lot that they're carrying, I stop and ask them, can I help you? I give to causes. I comb the local papers. I see what organization is putting backpacks together for school-age kids, and then I go out and buy some backpack supplies and donate to that, or to a cause, or give books to the library, or drop my stuff off in Goodwill, even though it's so easy to just throw it out in your garbage. So that's what I do. I give something every day. It could be a compliment. I try to be complimentary to everybody. I'll call my dad or my sister. I'll help somebody with something at work even though it might not be my job. And I smile. When you smile at people and you're nice to people, it really inspires them to smile and be back and smile back at you, and sometimes make a not so good day for them a better day for them. So I also try to find things that inspire me that I can incorporate into my life. I surround myself with things that make me happy. For me, it's being outside on a beautiful day, it's gardening, it's finding junk on the street and repainting it. Not that I'm any good at it, I just do it because it's fun. But anything like that, read inspirational self-help books, find something that speaks to you. Google has everything. So here's what I've learned. If I focus on the things that make me happy, I know that the person I am helps create the world around me. I try to find the good, I try to be the good, and I try to give, and I believe the world will respond to that. Here's my next lesson learned: diet. Just another thing I can't and don't want to do. And here's what I've learned. Diet and restrictions don't work. How many times have you been on a diet and lost 20 pounds, and then as soon as the diet's over, you've gained 20 pounds and then an additional 5, and you're like, well, how come these clothes don't fit me anymore? It's the worst. The only thing that really works is a real life plan. So you have to, it can't be a chore for you to deprive yourself. You have to figure out what works. And my father-in-law was actually a bariatrician or a diet doctor, and he said to me many, many years ago, he goes, stop counting calories. Start with proteins and eat salads and vegetables always as your main meal. Just always remember that. Protein, salads, vegetables. Keep carbs at a minimum, especially I think if we're women and we're all over 40 or 50, I think our ability to process carbs is less. So it's better to kind of keep them between 60 and 80 grams a day. I know that's counting, which I hate, but if nobody gets fat on grilled chicken and roasted vegetables and salad. So just remember that. Eat dessert. I have a sweet tooth, and I eat dessert. I look for low carb, high protein desserts. I actually make my own cheesecake out of like cottage cheese and xylitol, but I'll go into that in a minute. And then double your protein in your recipes. So if you're making chili, use 2 packages of ground chicken or turkey instead of 1. Here's my lessons for this. Stop counting every calorie and obsessing on portion control. Always think protein, salads, vegetables, always. That's always your first go-to. I know it's hard to eat that at breakfast, but you could do oatmeal or some other thing and then focus on your protein, salads, and vegetables for lunch and dinner, and a snack. Don't deprive yourself. Just think protein, salads, and vegetables. Read cookbooks. I love to cook, so read healthy cookbooks. Don't worry about the calories. Just find great cookbooks. And by the way, I put a bunch of kind of recommended reading in the back to just give you maybe some ideas of what might be a good cookbook for you. If you don't cook, buy ready-made chickens, buy turkey burgers, they're all in the frozen section. Thaw them out. Go to Trader Joe's. They have mirepoix, which is the diced up chicken, the diced up carrot, celery, and onion. And you can throw them in soups. They have great chicken. You just throw it in a soup with some, with some broth of some sort, and you've got a great meal, and you don't even have to think about it. A crock pot, if you don't have one, get one. Google some recipes. In the wintertime, there's 4 nights a week I'm using my crock pot, and there's great healthy recipes for that. You don't have to even think about what you're cooking. And basically, although much to my family's dismay, I make soup in the winter and salads in the summer, and that's what we're having. This is not a restaurant, so that's what I do.
Keeps the stress level down.
Definitely keeps the stress level down. Also, just a word, going back to the previous slide, just a word about sweeteners. If you can, get off of the fakes, artificial sweeteners. Get off of the Sweet and Low and anything saccharin or aspartame based. They give you ocular migraines. They give you migraine headaches. They're terrible for your body. You're much better off with a more natural substance, an agave, a maple syrup. And I use xylitol. You can buy it at the health food store, and I think it tastes just like sugar. And I cook with it and everything. But it's just not good for you, so don't use it. Anything that is fake or aspartame oriented. All right, another lesson. You call yourself a runner. Well, not in front of real runners, and I will explain that at the end of this. An exercise plan for the rest of us. So basically, I make everything an exercise. 5 days a week I do this. I always take 2 days off because I think you have to. Here's what I do. I walk the dog, or I run the dog. And when I say I run the dog, I'm literally jumping rope with the dog leash in my hand and my bag to pick up the garbage as well. I squat, I run, I walk, I kick. Now, the neighbors think I'm insane, but that's okay. They probably do anyway. I multitask, I clean, and I work out. I have another tip for you later on in the next slide. If you like to work, just do it. If you like to work out, get outside, walk, run, create your own workout. Do yoga. You can Google workouts. You can do yoga at a local studio, and they typically give you your first class for free, so that's definitely worth it. Here's the lessons that I've learned. We all have to do something. So dance, run, clean your house, any non-specific thing that's an activity counts. Walk, take a yoga class, crazy clean the house workout, which I do all the time. Basically, this is what I did this morning because this is one of my workout days, which wasn't an official workout. I was jumping with the dog, and then I come home and I put Swippers on the bottom of my sneakers, and I always have my sneakers and my shorts out because that way I have to put them on instead of my sweatpants. So I'm, it's a routine, and I literally Swift with my feet all over all my hardwood floors, and it's an insane workout, and I think I probably burn more calories doing that than anything. So I think that's something that you really should try to incorporate. It doesn't have to be going to the gym every day for 45 minutes. You can find something that works for you. Walking is probably the best exercise there is. Challenge yourself. Go for a walk and then run to the next block and then walk to the next block and run to the next block. And the beauty of running is that you can open your door and you're doing it. You don't have to drive to the gym and get your stuff in a locker, and then you don't have a lock, and then who's going to steal your stuff? And it's just part of a good plan. And then just so you know, it's much better to have a healthy eating plan than a crazy exercise plan. Just stop obsessing about the type of exercise and just try to incorporate it into your daily life.
It's like when you go to the grocery store, park further away.
Exactly.
You can walk
exactly.
a little distance.
Run up the stairs. And don't get me wrong. Sorry, I skipped things. I call myself a runner, but when I say that, I don't call myself a runner in front of real runners, because then they think you actually can talk like running lingo, like, well, what's your time and how often do you train and blah blah blah, and well I just want to finish. I just want to go from point A to point B. If I run a 5K just because they're fun and probably somebody's talked me into running it, I just want to finish, and that's pretty cool that I finish. So I don't call myself a runner in front of real runners, only in front of people who actually would be impressed at the fact that they think I can run, which I do, sort of. But in any case, I just don't want you to feel guilty about what you do or don't do, because it's all good. So in any case, my workouts have really morphed into how I can take the stress out of having to have a workout situation and just making something happen. Just get outside and run up a hill, then walk, then do it 5 times. I do running and yoga much more for my mind, although it's great for your body too, but I need a time to really focus on stopping that long laundry list of what I have to do. Yoga and running helps me do that. So find a time. I'm a morning person. That's when I do it, and then I'm done. And so for me, I think crazy cleaning house workout actually is a great thing. Plus, shopping is a really good way to work out, because I think you need to count that as a workout, because that's important to me, shopping. So, change. I have fear of same, and that's what these bullet points are about. Be the change, not just in the world, but be the change in your life. Change your daily routine, change your lunches, change your mind, change your route to work. Find things and people that inspire you, that help you grow and change for the better. Take a break every day. Today at 2 o'clock, I'm taking a walk. I don't care what's going on. You have to find a way to kind of change it up. Otherwise, your life just becomes this mundane same. And change surroundings. Rearrange your living room, or pick up a piece of discarded furniture and paint it. I told you I'm not very good at it, but it's really fun. And I do have a garage filled with a bunch of things that I painted that are sitting in my garage. And my husband's like, well, why all of this stuff is in your garage? I said, because this is part of my change. I need to change furniture. And so I did that. So in any case, there's lots of ways you can change your surroundings. I happen to love wooden pallets. No idea what I'm doing, but Google wooden pallet furniture and you will have fun. I promise you that. There's tons of Google ways to, sort of find change and change up your routine. Here's what I've learned. I find if I do something that I don't like about me, I try to change it. If I find that I'm sort of self-deprecating by nature, so if somebody says, oh, I like your hair, and I said, oh, well, I was just winging it this morning or something like that, I have to kind of address that and go, you know what, I have to say thank you. I have to really try to stop, sort of always, being the person that puts myself down, or other people down for that matter. Of course, there's a lot of things that require same. There's life, daily responsibilities, feeding your family, things like that. But everything else you can change. You can take a class. You can change your surroundings. You can. I must have changed my living room 100 times. And I think the reason my fear of same happened is because I grew up in a house where my parents had like 45-year-old furniture that they had restuffed, so that now not only was it 45 years old, but my living room was exactly the same because the same exact couch had been restuffed. So I think, and they were, sort of products of their generation. So I think I just decided that I need a fresh look. Now, my family has actually banned me from changing anything in the house. My daughter yelled at me. My husband has forbidden me from touching anything. So now my backyard is my new passion, thus the pallet furniture. So try it. It's great. Okay, so here's one of my favorites. I can't really take credit for this because I'm pretty sure that somebody on HGTV had it, didn't call it the crap bucket, but for me it makes all the difference. So it's the greatest invention that was ever created. And basically, I live in a house, I'm sure you all live somewhere, where the members of your family leave little trails of themselves all over the place. So basically, I feel like I pick up every second of my life. I can be the only one up in the morning. I can go to my room, I can come back, and there'll be more stuff. Hair ties and dog toys. My dog is the worst. So basically, I bought a decorative bin that sits in my living room, and every day, every really, 4 hours, whenever I'm home, I pick up all the family stuff and I throw it in the crap bucket. Now, the trouble with the crap bucket is that it does overflow with all the crap that nobody will take responsibility for. So basically, when I say, okay, well now you have to clean up the crap bucket, they're like, well, I didn't put that in there. I didn't do that. But in any case, it does help me feel like I have some kind of control with what I'm dealing with. So, for me, it works. You should try one. This has been the hardest thing for me, I think, but one of the most important for all of us. We're all really, really stressed out, no matter what your situation is. And what I have had to learn is to find ways to calm my brain. I have to find tools to help me from getting stressed out or deal with stressful situations. And I can tell you one of the greatest things is just to take deep, long, mindful breaths often, and that's where yoga comes in. If you like yoga, it forces you to do that, turn your brain off. And when I say long, deep, mindful breaths, it's literally 1, 2, 3, 4. Count to 4 slowly, breathe in, count to 4 slowly, breathe out. You can do this anywhere. You can do this in your car. You can do this in your office. If you just need a break, you sometimes have to take yourself out of a situation and breathe. Another thing is surround yourself with beautiful things or music and just kind of take yourself out of that moment and look at a picture or listen to some music or that. You can also create like a Zen spot for yourself, and I actually put a link to some kind of cool little Zen corners. You could use a wooden palette and paint it and put it in with a pillow on it, and that could be your Zen corner. But like I said, find things that take you away from everyday life. Find a craft, do some reading, yoga, take a walk, and breathe. Every day, breathe. Also, every day do something good for yourself, and like I said, it does include shopping. So, you want to find a way to be happy, and if you want to stop by kind of a cool store on your way home from work, do that. If you want to pick up flowers, that's another great thing. When I go shopping, I pick up a bouquet of flowers, and I just put them in I actually save little jars, and little glass jars, and I clean them out and use Goo Gone, and I use them as little vases, and I put flowers in them. So I surround myself with pretty things just because. And I'm a big fan of being alone and finding comfort in myself. It's a really good way to explore who you are and be okay with being who you are. So again, it's all about managing your stress. You've got to try not to make yourself crazy by doing too much and beating yourself up all the time. You have to, as some wise person said, and find wise people to help you, take the bricks out of your backpack. If you're doing too much, figure out a way to stop doing that and find another way to do it that isn't so stressful. Yoga, gardening, reading outside on a beautiful day, something creative. Meditation is another really great thing. It's really hard. The first time I meditated, I took a class. It was like an hour and a half, and we have these bolsters, and it's really comfortable. We're all lying on this great kind of Zen place, and we're talking about it and everything. I was like, oh, this isn't going to be so hard. So then I lie down, and here we are, ready to meditate for 20 minutes. And the second, not 1 second into the meditation, I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. This is hard. No, I have too much to do. I can't lie here for 20 minutes. This is so hard. And so basically from that point, 20 years ago, I had to say, okay, that's a terrible thing. I have to figure out how to quiet my mind. So there's some great guided meditations. They're on YouTube. They're at the library. Deepak Chopra. Tons of people have a great guided meditation that just help you kind of turn off your brain. And if you can do it, for 10 minutes every day, that would be amazing. If you can do it for 10 minutes 4 times a week, that's amazing. And if you can stick with it, you will find great benefit in that, I promise you. Find your Zen. Find a moment to just breathe slowly again. Imagine a big, beautiful sun. Whatever keeps you from thinking about what you have to do in the next 10 minutes. The next 10 minutes are going to come whether you meditate or not. So you can stress out about it, or you can You can try to calm down and, just be, really, is what they call it. There's another link to some Zen spots. So be the change, and I tell you this, it is hard work, but it's so worth it. You always have to be a work in progress. Focus on the good in life, in your life, in other people's lives. Be a good person, give of yourself. Try not to obsess. Your mind really controls everything, and you have the power to make it stop, but you just have to find the tools to do it. Be better. Be a better person. Be okay with who you are, where you are, and find the strength to change and grow with your life in order to continue to find a better you. And that's what I do. And here's what I was talking about with some good reason. Do you want me to go on with that, Sharon?
Yeah, go ahead. If anyone has any questions, you can feel free to type them in, because otherwise, go ahead, Lynn.
Okay, no problem. So here's good reads. So Finding Your North Star and Steering by Starlight, both by Dr. Mark Beck. Sometimes self-help books have a tendency to be a little pretentious. She's so straight, shoot from the hip. She's really a life coach, and I love her books. It really helps you kind of find you in all the stuff that you are, whether it's parent or child or kind of workaholic or all those things. It really helps you find some balance. 29 Gifts is another great book, which I love, and that's what I talk about giving. A lot of what I talk about that is from this book. It's called How a Month of Giving Can Change Your Life by Camy Walker, and there's actually a Facebook page. So she was a woman who was afflicted by multiple sclerosis 2 weeks after her marriage. She's a writer and completely at her wit's end. She was on multiple, strong medications. She was falling apart, and how she found this sort of spiritual teacher who said, you have to start giving every day. And she's like, I don't care how little you think you have. Like this woman was down to her last penny, in addition to having mounting medical bills and that kind of thing. And this 29 days of gifts changed her life. And I love that theory. And I have to be honest with you, I've never gone 29 days and really counted that I've given gifts, but I try really hard to give a gift every day. And like I said, it could be anything from a phone call to $1 to a homeless person to anything that puts you a little bit out there, something that may be hard for you to do. The Eckhart Tolle books, The Power of Now, A New Earth, really talks about how our egos consume us, and it determines all our responses and all of the things that we do. We're basically defensive in nature. So when someone calls up and says, well, why did you do that? Well, you're like, well, I did it because you told me to do that, blah, blah, blah. So basically it's how to stop, just stop the ego and just be here right now. Both of those are really excellent books and worth a read. Here's some more meditations. Deepak Chopra, The Secret of Healing. I love this. It's like sort of, I think it's maybe an hour or more long, but you can stop it in increments of 5 or 10 minutes, whatever you have. It's worth it. Google guided meditations. Try some. Go to your local library. Find some self-help books. I pop them in my car. Some have weird voices. You got to find the right voice, because sometimes the voice is really not what you're. But I love Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle. I love Martha Beck is great. Try them and maybe take out a couple from your local library. So if one voice is a little too much for you, you can then move on. Just find what speaks to you. And then food for thought. No, really, this is about food. So basically, like I said, I love to cook. I have so many cookbooks. I don't have room for all my cookbooks, but here's some worth a try. Gwyneth Paltrow wrote a cookbook called It's All Good, delicious, easy recipes that will make you look good and feel great. And basically she went through some health issues and through her own discovery sort of put together this cookbook, which is really excellent. And there's great recipes in here, so definitely worth a try. The Kind Diet by Alicia Silverstone. is another interesting book. It's actually a vegan cookbook, but it has some great recipes, including a chocolate peanut butter cup, which is like to die for, which is vegan, which no one knows is vegan. And it actually talks about kind of what we're doing to the planet. So it's pretty heavy, but definitely worth a read. Get Cooking Like Crave if you like burgers and French fries and that kind of thing. It's a great little cookbook, and it lightens up all your favorite foods. Get Cooking Light magazine and Google healthy recipes. And that is all I have. Well, that's me. I'm still learning. Yes.
I mean, I actually feel relaxed. But, I hope you all learned something from this. It really was very interesting. And if you do have any questions, because nobody really wrote any in, because I know there's a lot of information. I saw everybody's really paying very heavy attention. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to either email myself or Lynn. You probably have my email. This is Sharon. Other than that, this presentation was recorded. We'll put it on our YouTube channel. And we will also send you a PDF, if Lynn is good with that, of the presentation. So any of the links, if you missed any of the links, I saw everyone really enjoyed when you got to the books. So if anybody missed any of that, we will be sending out the presentation, so you'll have those links. And thank you all for coming. Lynn, if you want to say anything else.
Thank you, guys. Yes, I just wanted to say that basically you got to find something that works for you, and you just got to be a student of yourself for the rest of your life. That's what I've learned, and you can do it. So thank you, guys. I appreciate your attention and time.
And thank you, Lynn. Okay, thanks everybody.